Hey YouTube, it's Big Zach coming to another video. Today I'll be ranking my top 10 favorite movie franchises. Please like and subscribe and share to your friends, and let's get into the video. In 10th place we got Spider-Man franchise. This franchise as a whole is really good. You got, I think, there's a decent amount. I mean, you got the Tobey Maguire trilogy, the Andrew Garland, I think his name is, the Amazing Spider-Man, and then you got Tom Holland. Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire are my favorite. I don't really care for Andrew Garfield or whatever his name is. My favorite out of these movies would probably be the second one from 2004. I thought the villain was really good, and then that train fight scene was really done well. In ninth place, we got Harry Potter. A lot of people might have this higher. Me, I've never been a huge fan, but I respect it. And, like, I can go and watch it and enjoy it. But, like, if I'm going to choose out of these franchises, probably one of the ones I'd choose lower. My favorite movie is probably Order of the Phoenix or the Sorcerer's Stone, Order of the Phoenix, or the Deathly Hallows. They're probably my favorites. As a whole, it does a really good way telling the story. Me personally, I'd probably prefer the books than the movies, but the movies are done pretty good. In 8th place, we got Lord of the Rings / Middle Earth / The Hobbit. This movie franchise is really good at. It's another one based off kind of books. My favorite movie out of this is probably not Fellowship of the Ring. What is it? The Return of the King. Mainly because the action. There's so much action in it. Only problem I have with these movies is they're so long. Each one's almost 3 hours long, and it takes a whole day almost to watch a couple movies. But it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen them, I really recommend it. The story just is done really well. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan, but I respect it. Same with the Harry Potter, I respect it, but this is not one I'll watch a lot. Same with Harry Potter, I don't really watch these that much, but I will watch them every once in a while, and I do respect them and fairly enjoy when I do watch them. In 7th place, we got Jurassic Park / Jurassic World. This franchise was really cool. When it first came out in 1993, no one knew what to expect, especially from back then with the technology, and then the way they did the dinosaurs, the graphics was amazing. I mean, it feels like they're actually alive. My favorite movie out of this franchise would probably be the first one and Jurassic World. Jurassic World's pretty good. It's the best one since the first one, but still I like the first one probably a little better, but this franchise I do watch a lot more than most of the other ones below. It's just a very fun franchise to visit. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Most of these franchises, I do highly recommend them all. 6th place, we got Indiana Jones. This is a really good action franchise. Got one of my top actors in Harrison Ford. My favorite movie out of this franchise is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think it was done really well. The Last Crusade's really good too. I go in between sometimes. There's the new one. It's the 5th one's coming out in, I think, 2022. I believe so. I do like Temple of Doom. The first 3 are good. The 4th one I don't really care for. The first 3 are really solid action movies, and Harrison Ford does a great job playing Indiana Jones. He did come right off Star Wars, so big hit. They got really good music in them. Nothing to really complain about. And bring us into our top 5 is the Rocky franchise. This is probably the greatest sports franchise or sports movies in all of cinematic. Sylvester Stallone did a great job. Just the motion that it brings in with the fight is amazing, and then it has one of the most iconic soundtracks with "Gonna Fly Now." I love visiting this one. I probably watch this one more than most of them. This is probably one of the top 3 or 4 that I watch the most. My favorite movie out of the Rocky franchise is the original Rocky 4. I do fairly enjoy Rocky Balboa, and then probably Creed. I really fairly enjoy them all. The only one I don't really care for that much is Rocky 5. In 4th place, we got the Toy Story franchise. This is my favorite like animated franchise, because I know I could consider Pixar a franchise, but like it's not. It's like a studios, because Pixar has some really great movies. But overall, as the best franchise in Pixar would probably be Toy Story. Um, it's been just a film history movie making, and the first one came out in 1993. It was just crazy. I wasn't alive. I went to see Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4 in theaters. I wasn't alive for the first two, unfortunately, but I love it. And especially for a kid's movie, it gives adults a reason to feel emotion. Like, it's really cool. My favorite movie out of this is probably, it's Toy Story, the original, and also, like, the third one. I mean, for me, it's really hard. I should go back and forth between all four. They're all equally great, but at this point, it'd probably be Toy Story 1 or Toy Story 3 would be my favorite. And bringing us in top 3 is the Fast and Furious franchise. This one, I was debating between 2 and 3. I decided to put it at 3. I love this movie. Sorry when I said Indiana Jones was my favorite. Actually, this is actually. You got the cars, you got the action, you got the stunts. It's just a blast when you go see it. I am very, very highly excited and anticipating for the new one coming out in May of this year. I'm gonna go see it probably opening weekend. My favorite movie out of these is I enjoy Furious 7, Fast 5, and the first one, and then Hobbs and Shaw is a pretty good movie too. I know some of them, they're not the greatest movie, but just for me, if I'm gonna go see a movie and enjoy myself, this is a franchise go. Now, is it the best franchise? No, but for me personally, I enjoy this franchise more than most others, and this is why I have it this high. Bringing us to our runner-up is the MCU. Some people might have this at number 1. I can understand why. It was the first movie franchise to bring a bunch of characters from different movies together in the Avengers film, which was history for cinematic history. The first one I saw in theaters out of the MCU was, I believe, I want to say either Iron Man 2 or Captain America. I really fairly enjoy this movie. If you haven't, check out my ranking of the MCU films down in my videos. It's probably one of my favorite ones so far. That one and the Star Wars one. I would greatly appreciate it. There's so many great movies in this franchise. If I had to pick a couple, Endgame, Avengers Endgame, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and probably like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're all my favorite. I just love this franchise, and it's a blast to go back and visit it. And for some honorable mentions, we got the Hunger Games. I really like this because of the books are really cool, and it's really cool to see how they think like the United States future would be, even though we don't know that's what it's going to be. I thought it's a really cool movie. It goes really good off from the book to the movie. I think it's really good. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. We also got Pirates of the Caribbean. This franchise, it's not the highest critics, but like me, I really enjoy this movie. I'm thinking about, I might put this in my top 10, but like my favorite movie out of this is probably the first one. I mean, they're all, like, I have a blast with this one. This is another one that has great music. We also got Despicable Me, another good kids franchise. I love these movies. Like, I have a blast anytime I see it. New Minion movie coming out this year, The Rise of Gru. Very excited to see that one, too. We also got Batman/DCU. This, so far, the reason why, because this is in my top 10 is because there's been a bunch of movies in this franchise that haven't been good. Now, if they're all decently consistent, I would probably be in my top 5 or top 10. My favorite movie out of this is probably The Dark Knight. One of the greatest movies of all time. Now, the Dark Knight trilogy is great on its own, but it's not the whole franchise. DCU, they have some good movies with like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, solid, but other than that, it's not the greatest. In first place, we got Star Wars. If you haven't seen my Star Wars ranking, please watch it. I love Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars. Like, my family watched it. I used to just put it on constantly. I still do. I grew up with the original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I got to see episode 7, Rogue, 8, Solo, and 9 in theaters. And when I went to see episode 7, that was just probably one of my top experiences going to the theaters ever. Because I just love Star Wars so much, and I'm so passionate about it. It's amazing. Like, I know some people don't agree with everything, but like, as Star Wars as a whole, I can enjoy any Star Wars movie. My favorite movie out of this would be Episode 3, Episode 5, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and I'd probably put Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and Episode 7, Force Awakens. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share with friends, and see you until next time.